Hey, what's happening guys? Jameson here. I'm with another video and I'm making a Dark Souls 1 video again. My glasses are falling off. Oh no. But no, the last time I made a Dark Souls 1 video, it was hot and I didn't have a shirt on. I'm not making that mistake again. I mean, I'll still keep the video up and everything, but it's just something that's probably going to stick to videos where it's montages rather than just straight up on its own. So first of all, going to talk about some bosses from Dark Souls 1, because Michael gave me 4 to start with. He's given me another 4 to have a look at in the near future, including like Manus, which is just like, wow, really. So I'm going to talk about the Asylum Demon. So if I'm looking like that way, because I've got it like written in notes. Because if I just straight up tried to make a video on these 4 bosses, I would fail straight away. I would straight away fail. If you genuinely do know about Dark Souls, you wouldn't fail. But because I'm still kind of a newbie to it, yeah. So you can find the Asylum Demon within the tutorial. So I've got notes here, you see. Found within the tutorial at Northern Undead Asylum, and this boss, which is probably one of the easiest bosses, because during the start of the game, the bosses are quite easy. But if it's Dark Souls, then you never know. Drops 2,000 souls and 1 humanity. Big Pilgrim's Key on sound. Oh, on the second, right? So this first time you do encounter this, but within the second time you drop the one. So you encounter this boss twice. The first time within a tutorial, and then with the second encounter, either first hand, like straight away try to battle it, but you've got no equipment, or second encounter where you've got more equipment. It drops the big Pilgrim's Key. So you can either try it for the first time but with like no equipment, or go for it later on when you've got like an Estus flask, which is ideal because it regenerates your health, which is kind of what you need. However, on your first encounter though, if you do choose to do that, it would drop the Demon's Great Hammer. And there's various attacks that this boss has. For example, like Hammer Drive, Long Range, Hammer, Ground Pound, and however, so those are the attacks. However, the drawback to it is it's the slow attacks. So like you could be doing all these different things whilst it tries to slowly attack you. And all that as well, its health is 825. So it's not as high as the bosses. It's not as high as other bosses in the game. Like for example, Taurus Demon, because the health to that is 1215. Well, 1215. It drops 3,000 souls instead of 2,000. 1 humanity still. It drops 1 homeward bone, and it's a potential that it could drop the Demon's Great Axe. Might not, but it might. But then again, it might do that. Some of its attacks include jumping attack, standing smash, horizontal swing, quick grand stab, or ground stab. Because how I wrote it quite badly, and massive jump, which quite sounds So yeah, again, that's a dragon, and then another dragon, which is the Hellkite dragon. However, its alternative name is Drake's Sword, which guards the bridge to the Altar of Sunlight. That sounds a pretty good damn name for an album, does that? Like, like from like Alter Bridge or Alter Bridge. You see what I did there? Wordplay. But the Altar of Sunlight in the Undead Burg. And this boss has 2,208 health, so a considerable more health than the Taurus Demon and the Asylum Dragon combined. And it drops 10,000 souls, as opposed to like dropping 3,000 for that Taurus one and 2,000 for the Asylum boss. However, there's a thing, if you have the master key in the game, Dark Souls 1, it prevents the Drake from appearing, so it's, the alternative name is Drake's Sword. And the alternative there is if you, well, the thing is, if you didn't have the master key, you'd have to face this boss anyway. If you did have it, you would not find this boss at all. So I like how you do different things, it comes out with different outcomes rather than just being a linear follow this, follow that, and that's what's going to happen. No matter what you do, this is what's going to be the outcome. You can have a different outcome no matter how you play it. Some of the attacks include Fire Breath, Forward Stomp, Head Ram. Don't know why I'm acting out the attacks. Tail Whip. I know that because it's a trick, a BMX trick. Jumping Flame Dash, which sounds pretty cool. But like, if you do come across this boss, like if you didn't have the master key and you had to face this boss, it would drop the Drake's Sword. You see, the thing is, because that Drake, all I can think of is Hotline Bling, and then the Do, who gets absolutely embarrassed all the time by fans saying, "Can you play Hotline Bling on like games and make such certain things?" Like, so whenever I see Drake, it just makes me laugh. Especially when I was in York and there was a chip shop called Drake's Fish and Chips. I was like, really? But the final boss I'm going to talk about, because it's on these notes, Stray Demon, which can be found when returning to the Undead Asylum, which is similar to the Asylum Dragon in sense of difficulty, appearance. However, it's not susceptible, I couldn't think of a different word to that, susceptible, to black fire bombs. Boss, the health is 5,250, and it drops 20,000 souls. It has attacks such as double hammer swing, power smash, and then to up the ante even more, a double power smash. Then you have like leaping hammer smash, so you can see a trend going here, and butt slam, and then like explosion, whether it be with flame or a hammer. Then with this one, it drops 1 humanity, it drops 1 homeward bone, and then a titanite slab. So those are the 4. But one of the bosses Michael was telling me about this morning to check out was Manus, which I could because I was on the phone to him, I couldn't tell what he was saying properly. I thought he was saying Maneth or something. I was like, Maneth, that sounds like a name for a boss. But Manus is like I went onto YouTube to find this Manus guy, right? So I'm gonna try find this video again and leave a link in the description of this channel. I mean, also bear in mind with those 4 bosses, if I haven't said anything clear enough, if I haven't said anything fully, you can just go on the internet anyway and like look in more specific detail at what these bosses are, like in your own time. On other people's websites, not mine, because I don't have a website for Dark Souls or anything. So it'd be cool if Michael could do a video on the Manus boss, because I watched someone else called Epic Namebro play this boss on Dark Souls 1, and this video was uploaded like 5 years ago, got like 1 million views on it, and Michael was telling me that this boss is harder than like the Nameless King, and I was like, really? Like, that's insane, like and the Nameless King is a hard boss, and bear in mind that's on Dark Souls 3, that's a hard boss. So for this Manus boss on Dark Souls 1 to be harder than the Nameless King is crazy, like that's insane. And he said like you can't do it on your own. You'd need a Sith, which is the wolf with like a sword, which attacks with a sword. Because I don't think you can have, because that would be like your phantom. I don't think you'd have phantoms at that point. I don't know. I think you would. Yeah, I think you could summon a phantom. Oh, come on, work it out, Jamie. The Sith is the phantom. Like, people are going to be slating me now. And then, like, what else with Dark Souls? I want to see rage charges, which would be dead cool to do, because knowing with Dark Souls it's a hard game, and reading some of the comments people have been putting in the group about how certain things have annoyed them, I'm like, let's turn this into a rage charge. People getting angry at a game. I take the footage and make it into a montage. It would be really funny to see. Yeah, it would be quite funny to see. Then, like, look at the 4 bosses Michael sent me, research into them. Yeah, yes. And may I just point out as well, this group Michael has set up on Facebook is doing fucking amazing. Like, literally at the start of the week, like, it's only been up like 1 week, it's been crazy. It only had like 10, 15 people to start off with. And now I wouldn't be surprised if it's near 300 by the time this goes up. Like, I'm not joking, that's not me trying to sound smart or sound like cocky or anything, that's genuinely true. Yeah, and also maybe Q&A as well. Like, if people want to ask, because there's more people in the community now, if people want to ask me a question about anything, like, or ask Michael to be fair, because Michael knows more about Dark Souls than I do, or ask me about anything, like, related to either the gaming channel JMR Gaming, or my vlogging channel, or my animation channel, or just generally something about me. I'm curious to know. Like, I'm curious to know if someone wants to ask me a question. Because the thing is, I want to do a Q&A at some point in my life, and they've always gone wrong. So I'd like this one to, if I do one, I'd like to do it correctly. Right. So, 4 bosses, stuff extra. I just know when I finish this, and like 10 minutes later, I'm going to be like, I should have talked about that. But one thing I will add on before I do go is a lot of the footage I've been putting up recently has been edited from like Michael's gameplay or my spare gameplay or Ryan's footage. I think it would be good now to go back, like with specifically Dark Souls 1, like live streamed footage instead of like editing it up, to have straight up gameplay, like live stream footage all the way up. Like, rather than editing it down, keep the footage the whole way, and then so that you can watch the whole thing through. And Michael said himself he was going to play with some other people online, so that's like, rather than editing it out, I think editing out bits that might be missed or might be good. I want to keep the whole thing together. So more live streams. So whenever there's a live stream going on, put it straight to YouTube. No editing, just keep it as it is. Yeah, I think it's the original Dark Souls 1 game had very good graphics, and for this to be the remastered version will make the graphics, you would think, better. I know it's better because I've seen the remastered version graphics. They are better. So, yeah. So, I've been Jimmy Hudson. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new here. And, yeah, see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye.